Max Verstappen just revealed why he hopes Lewis Hamilton will race again in 2022. In fitting fashion, following a drama-filled season, the F1 offseason has been rife with uncertainty about the changes in the coming season. The most recent development casts doubts on the future of the Verstappen Hamilton rivalry as the seven-time world champ floats the idea of retirement. Will we see the Mercedes and Red Bull fight out another nail-biting first corner, or will we be missing one of the most prominent drivers in the sport? What does Max think about his main competitor leaving the grid? If Hamilton does retire, does this leave the door open for another Verstappen championship? Welcome to Max Verstappen Rewind. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update on Red Bull Racing, Formula One, or basically everything related to the multi-talented racer and world champion, Max Verstappen. 2021 season loss. To the delight of F1 fans new and old, the 2021 season ended in a stunning finish at Yas Marina. A late Latifi crash left the longtime race leader, Hamilton, within one lap of securing his 8th World Drivers' Championship. While following the safety car, the reminder to Mercedes boss Toto Wolff that it's called a motor race accompanied the direction to allow Hamilton and Verstappen to race one final lap, which Max won to dethrone the champion. Award show snuff. After the ceremonies of the race settled, Max had to wait before actually receiving the World Drivers' Championship trophy until the FIA prize-giving ceremony. A mandatory event for F1 drivers, Lewis and Toto were set to receive the Constructors' Award on behalf of Mercedes. In a shock to all, Hamilton and Wolff snubbed the ceremony and did not attend, leaving many to question their motives and the consequences of missing the event. Instead, James Allison picked up Mercedes' 8th straight Constructors' Trophy due to the last lap controversy in Abu Dhabi. Retirement rumors. After Max was given the hardware for his championship win, Toto hinted at a conflicted future with Hamilton at Mercedes and in F1 in general. Even though he had a contract signed through 2023, rumors began to surface of the possibility of Lewis Hamilton retiring before the start of next season. He would be retiring as a 7-time world champion, tying Michael Schumacher's record set in 2004 with Ferrari. There has been no word from Hamilton himself about his future career in the sport. Would the dominant driver of the turbo-hybrid era of racing walk away after a perceived interference by those meant to ensure fair racing, or would he be back to challenge Max for the trophy? Instagram unfollow. To further complicate matters and add to the rumors, Lewis Hamilton took to social media to express his dissatisfaction. One of the largest drivers on Instagram isolated himself and unfollowed everyone, leaving his 26 million followers wondering what would come next. This included the account for his own dog, Roscoe, who can often be found right by Lewis's side entering the paddock. What did this mean regarding the rumors of his retirement? Could a big announcement be posted soon, one that would shake the F1 world as it entered a new phase of rule changes and regulations? F1 bosses. Speculation about Lewis's future in the sport has run rampant, even reaching the upper echelons of the Formula One organization. Former F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone and current CEO Stefano Domenicali both weighed in on the situation with contrasting viewpoints. On Lewis's retirement, Ecclestone said Lewis could only lose in 2022, further explaining that, with Hamilton, Max had a rival who was highly regarded by everyone. So, successes count twice. And I maintain Max is currently the best racing driver in the world. The former F1 CEO seemed confident in Max's ability against Lewis on the track, leaving questions as to why Lewis would even want to return. As a 7-time champion, Hamilton has already proved himself as a driver. Would the allure of an 8th title bring him back, or does Lewis have nothing left to prove in the world of F1? Diverging opinions from Ecclestone, the current F1 CEO believes we'll see Lewis crossing the line in a Mercedes next year. Domenicali refers to Hamilton's competitive nature as an indicator of his intentions to remain in the sport. Race car drivers are a different breed of competitive athlete, and being tied with Schumacher doesn't have the same effect as holding the record by yourself. Lewis options. As a driver since he was 8 years old, what does a world without racing look like for Lewis? Would he be retiring to do something new, or would he be retiring to get away from the sport? After the disappointing loss, perhaps a bit of both. Ecclestone has hinted at Lewis stepping into a future as a fashion entrepreneur. Although he does not have any operations in the space, Hamilton's fashion interest can be seen in all his paddock entrances. Inspirational to some and confusing to others, Lewis's sense of style can generally be described as unique. Entering the fashion business could be the way he displays his personal flair. Hamilton also set up a charity, Mission 44, to help break down barriers in STEM for Black teachers. A cause important to Lewis, retirement would allow him to work closer in the charity and focus his efforts in making a difference in F1 for future generations. Understanding the power of his platform, Lewis has been vocal about this and many other issues in Formula One. Holding his influential position, Hamilton could attempt to bring about substantial change with the time usually spent preparing for a race weekend. It would seem that his future outside of racing raises as many questions as his future within the sport. Max's thoughts. So, what does Max have to say about all of this? As rivals on the grid, Max and Lewis had the greatest impact on each other's races and were at the center of the controversial safety car decision. An early retirement for Hamilton would remove Verstappen's greatest competition for the coming season and leave the door wide open for a second championship. The Red Bull driver understands the raw emotion that can come with race setbacks and the mindset Lewis is battling. He empathizes with Lewis, understanding how such a dramatic conclusion can affect one's spirit and mindset. Looking forward to the competition, Max respected Hamilton's career and ability, saying, "I think he should just look back at what he has achieved already." That should give him a lot of comfort and should also be that drive to just keep on going because he is still trying to challenge for that 8th title. And for sure, he can do that again next year. So I don't see any reason why to give up or stop now. A driver born with a racing spirit, Verstappen understands why Hamilton is disillusioned with the sport, but feels confident they'll be racing alongside each other in 2022. Max explains, "You also understand that this is racing, and these things sometimes happen. There are so many things out of your control as a driver: the weather, other drivers' strategies, and yes, the safety car. As one of the frustrating facets of the sport of Formula One, sometimes these decisions don't go your way. Max knows the only way to get past it is to be even better in the next race." Max retiring? Prior to his 2021 championship win, Max has explained his main ambition is winning the World Drivers' Championship just once. After that, he said, "That's it. You've completed it, and it doesn't really matter anymore or how many you win because you've already won one." Now that he's done that, could the Dutchman be the next driver to retire in the near future? It would seem that Verstappen has no interest in challenging Lewis for the most championship wins, so what is he racing for then? Rest assured, Red Bull fans, after winning, he stated, "Quitting is never an option. I'm happy to be in Formula One and overjoyed to be world champion. I hope to be able to continue driving for many years to come." It seems there will be no Rosberg-style exit for the Red Bull driver. With Verstappen embracing his top driving form and looming regulation changes, maybe we'll see that title count edge a bit closer to Lewis in the coming years. Although, he has mentioned that he would leave the sport if his engineer, Gianpiero Lambiase, left the team. The two have worked together since Max entered F1 in 2015. Let's hope Lambiase stays with Red Bull for a long time. In a sport where speculation reaches every aspect from driver lineups to regulation changes and team entries, the retirement of one of the most recognizable drivers in the history of the sport is bound to garner attention. Of course, nobody but Lewis knows the answer to that question and how he will handle the next season. However, for an educated guess, we can look to his rival, the driver who had to mentally understand Lewis in order to beat him. Max is confident in Hamilton's return, so hopefully we can see them turn the corner wheel to wheel yet again. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe below and let me know in the comments what you'd like to know about Super Max.